When is just as important as what? Okay. Now, what John Gottman did when he studied constructive communication, he said that the way couples argue, when they do argue, the way they argue can predict whether or not that marriage is going to succeed. The way. So there are three different categories of arguers. Can I say it like that?
That's the Arkansas slang.
Three different ways or styles of dealing with conflict. The first one is called the validators. Now the validators, they are calm. The validators look for compromise when they go at it. Then you have a group called the volatiles. You can tell by the name how they do it. They gonna yell and shout, and he said they fight on a grand scale. But guess what? They make up on a grand scale. Oh, glory. Y'all didn't want to hear that, did you? The volatiles are volatile in every way. Oh, glory to God. Just they fight hard. And when they get through fighting hard, they make up hard. They're volatile. Okay? And then you have the avoidance. The avoidance, they say, well, we just going to agree to disagree. Avoidance don't confront the issue. They just say, we're going to agree to disagree. So, considering those three, I don't know where y'all fall, and I ain't asking. Okay, there's a hand.
I'm volatile.
Okay.
And he's a boy. And that got us in trouble a few years back. Because he would just keep it to himself, like, I'm just going to let that go. But it ended up boiling over. And in my house, my mom and dad, they were just, that's all I saw. In his house, they just didn't say anything about it. So we figured it out after that. But.
And so you were cohorted differently, and thank you for sharing that, because that's absolutely true, and that's the case for all of us. We were raised a certain way, and we learned to deal with things a certain way. That's how we learned to deal with things, you know. And so I learned from my mom and dad. I learned from my mom and dad, and I like how they did things, and I hope she liked how they did things.
I was like Charlene. I grew up in a family that was very volatile. So I didn't want nothing to do with. I didn't want nothing to do with type of life. So I went totally 100%. I went totally opposite direction. I didn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah. And so Kim fell in love with my parents. I just look at my parents. She fell in love with them, but that was good though. That was good. But they were just sweet. They were just sweet. I all my life I never seen ever a raised voice. Never. I never saw it. I never witnessed it. Never saw it. You know. And now did they disagree? It's not even possible to say that they didn't. You know. But they sure didn't show us. We didn't see it. So now let's look at 9 types of positive communication. Compliments. Isn't it good to give a compliment?
Yes.
Don't you like receiving compliments?
Yes.
The second positive communication is affection. Ladies and gentlemen, affection in marriages is important. You stop showing affection, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Third, caring. You got to know that the person cares about them. Number 4, appreciation. I think we talked a little bit about that. Got to be appreciative. Next is concern. Show concern for the person you're with. Empathy. The next one is acceptance. I accept you. This is that. I accept you. Next is, here we go, good-natured teasing. Now, come on. Now, the two of you all married, and y'all can't good-natured tease each other. You can't do just a little bit of meddling.
Every day. See, this how it go right here.
They're supposed to be good-natured. They ain't supposed to be ugly.
Somebody might be sensitive.
Well, you know if the person you're married to is sensitive about that or not. You know. Which one? Okay.
He said, which one?
Bishop and I were dating, and we were at my apartment. I think I had been away and came back, and my stove was dirty. I was like, who been in my apartment? They done dirty my stove. Who been in here? My stove is right there. Leave my stove like that. He said, that's right. Somebody just came in your house and dirty my
I know that's right.
I mean, the door locked, everything shut down, everything, and she complained about dirty stuff. I said, boy, somebody came in here, turned this stove up and just left. Just walked out here and left your stove. but I mean, you got hands, yeah. Right here, y'all. Right here, y'all.
We like to push each other around. This is our greeting in the morning. I could be in the bathroom brushing my teeth, and he'll walk in, and he'll just bump me, talking about, oh, excuse me. And I'm like, so I do him the same way, about to push him off.
I think we'll try that one a few times, too. I mean, come on, y'all. There's got to be some good-natured teasing amongst y'all. That's good communication. That's positive. You know, why is it everything got to be, all the time? That's nothing but tension, you know. And then sharing your joys together. Here's 4 negative communication. Number 1 is condemnation. No, you always got to condemn. You got to blame, attack a person's personhood. Look, if something don't go wrong, why you got to call the person nappy-headed? What is their hair got to do with something that you nappy-headed, I mean, I'm using the extreme example, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We attack the person's person instead of whatever the issue was, you know. Number two is how about contempt? This is insulting the person, mocking them and belittling them. You know. Third is being defensive. When something come up, the first thing you want to do is deny or make an excuse. Why you make an excuse? What you denying? That's called defensiveness. And then the last one is called stonewalling. That's when you withdraw. That's when you withdraw. You start withholding being physical with your partner. You start withholding, psychologically. You know, you become what we mentioned earlier, passive aggressive. Okay. All right. Now let me give some suggestions. Ooh, Lord, we didn't get to how you resolve. Make sure you're handling conflict. Make sure your timing is good. Remember we talked about timing? Sometimes emergencies arrive and you got to go on and talk about it. But a lot of times when something come up, it's probably been there a little bit. It can wait till y'all come home this evening and you can talk about it. And at the bottom of 179 is the just before rule. Don't raise a controversial issue just before. Well, just before, look what? Look at the top of 180. Just before going to bed. Just before having a relationship with each other. Just before leaving the house. Just before anything that will not allow enough time to talk about it. Be careful about the just before rule. Okay? Improve your communication. Listen. Number 3, stick to the issue. Don't be historical.
Bring it up on
not hysterical. Historical. You start arguing, you say, well, last year, you.
Why gotta bring up all
Last year. If something coming, three months ago, I was at 3 months ago. That we talking about what happened, and you bringing up something. You did that kind of stuff when we first met. We first met, that was 12 years ago. Don't be historical. Stick to the issue. Fight fair. If you're going, when you get into the argument, listen, I like this. Marriage is a cooperative effort, not a competitive effort. You see, the goal is not to find fault or assess blame, it's to find a solution. That's the goal. Okay? And so you got to look to be for a win-win situation. What's unfair? Unfair can be emotional outbursts. When it's time to have an argument and fight, you're gonna break out into your emotional thing. But why can't we talk? Unfair is withholding relationship. Y'all understand? That's unfair. That's not fighting right. Y'all, he said nothing. You want it to be win-win, not win-lose. Because when somebody lose, you both lose. You catch that? Yeah. Number 5, Compromise is not a dirty word. What's wrong with compromise? You can compromise. Okay? Differences. You all have different tastes. He used 5 different types of differences that we all have. Now, y'all know y'all have different tastes, don't you? Yeah. Some of y'all have different tastes in food. And see, when you were dating, you didn't pay no attention to that, because when you sat across in the restaurant, she ordered hers from the menu, you ordered yours. And y'all didn't pay no attention. But when you got married, now y'all got to eat the same thing. Yeah.
But somebody decide who's going to cook it, though.
Whatever, y'all got to eat the same thing. But when you were dating and courting, you picked up that menu, you said, oh, give me, surf and turf or whatever. And she ordered shrimp scampi. Yeah. And it was no big deal, right? You get home, she wants to cook some shrimp scampi. You say, some steak, some potatoes. We always eat pasta and quiche. I want some meat. Oh, yeah, I see. We have different tastes in music. We have different tastes in music. I love all kind of music. Country western is one of my favorites. I don't think that's one of Kim's favorites. But I like Daryl Worley. I like it. Anyway. Dress. We have different tastes in dress. And I'm glad about her taste in dress, because if y'all had to deal with me, I'd probably have on my jeans and frat shirt.
Thank you, First Lady.
Yes, sir.
There's a distinct difference in your dress when she's not home.
You had to make that point. I mean, to me, it clothes. And matter of fact, somebody came in the office today and said, Bishop, Baron, I say, you got on some clothes out here.
She said, put that on.
These shoes I got on, I would never have bought these in 1,000, 1,000,000, 100 jillion years. Well, I bought these boots that you zip up on the side that look like.
That's nice. I like those. I want a pair.
I'm wearing them. I got them. But I got them on. Because she bought them. And she like them. I like them. Yes, sir.
Myself, for me, I'm quick to tell anybody that my wife dresses me, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay.
I'm perfectly fine with that, because if I go in the store and I pick out, I'm gonna be quick about it and I'm coming out. But she's very detailed, and she's like, no, that won't look good on you and that. So I allow her, the privilege to be able to do that for me.
If I need a white shirt, I would go to Walmart, get one for $12.95. I get the right size, as long as I can put it around my neck. and I put it on, and I'm about it there. Kim, she's gonna shop at 3 or 4 stores. She wants the one that comes and a shirt, baby. Just a shirt. But that's different taste. We have different habits. Habit is something you unconsciously do, and it happens compulsively. Okay? And we have different habits. How many of y'all like your toothpaste pressed in the middle? How many of you like to roll it?
He gets so mad, like, Kevin, it's just toothpaste. So I said, fine. I buy my own, you have your own. There you go. Thank God we have separate seats.
That's what we do. And that is the solution. And that's the solution. Because some people are, oh my God, what have you done to the tube of toothpaste? Yeah. You squeezing and mashing and just buy it. Here's your tube. Yep. Here's my tube. And that's it. How many of y'all like the toilet paper where is on the front or? It's on the road. It's on the road. I hear somebody talking.
Long as it's on the road,
it's
going to do the same thing.
I just want to be able to roll it off the thing and
come over.
So a lot of times it's best when it gets low for her to change it. Because when I get it, I put it on there and I ain't even pay no attention.
I just leave it on the thing right there.
I just pay attention. Did it come off when I pulled it? That's all. That's all I wanted. How many of y'all sleep with your bedroom door closed? I mean, how about with it open? That girl closed that door.
I want to hear.
That's why I said, we don't know if the burglar is in the house.
Door open. Exactly. They gotta open the door.
But she closed that door, and she wanted clothes, and she wanted clothes like my mama said, tighter than Dick's hat band. She wanted clothes. I mean, but this is how. But there's difference. Do you drink from the can or from the bottle, or do you have to put it in a glass?
You have to put it in a glass.
Sharing it with somebody,
you have to put it in a glass.
No, yours.
Oh, put it in a glass. Nope, put it in a glass.
I don't. With tequila in the house issue. A tequila need a glass. No, y'all not listening. She's not a paper cup, not a plastic cup, it needs to be a glass.
That's your door.
I said, that's my baby. I'll drink out of a canteen. Give me a canteen and give me,
You can't see what's in it. You gotta be able to see what's in it.
Okay.
I got a clear bottle.
I hear you. Okay, now what about values? Do we have different values? Yeah, and guess what? The two of you were raised differently. And so this is okay, these differences. They're okay, but you should not allow them to break the two of you up. You should, how about y'all think differently? Women are conceptual thinkers, men are analytical thinkers. I'm talking about by average numbers. We're not saying every woman is conceptual or every man is analytical. We're talking about by numbers. Women are more conceptual. They have the ability to understand a situation and ID patterns and connections, and they address the underlying issues. They use the integration of those issues and factors into a conceptualized framework and come up with an answer. They understand the why of something is being done, and they imply insight into the situation. That's conceptualized thinking. Men are more analytical thinking, where they want a set of data from different sources to draw their conclusions. Theirs is more methodological. Methodical.
There you go.
It's methodical. It's step by step. They want to gather the info, they want to organize it, then they want to assess it. You see, now both ways are highly effective. Both ways are highly effective. But it's just that, guess what? They're different. They're different. Okay? So you got to handle the differences. All right, I got to stop there. There are a few other things. We didn't get to do a lot of detail on the final things. But thoughts? Anybody on this? Was this helpful to you?
Yes.
Yes. To be continued.
So Bishop, I wanted to say one thing. I mean, because we think differently, it doesn't mean that when we, like when we think about ideas or different things that come about, we might have a different thought than what somebody else have. It doesn't mean that we're opposing, but we just think different.
The key is the approach, because a lot of times you can come out to the same conclusion, but you were approaching something this way, and the other person was approaching it this way. And then why you doing it like that? Why because the approach was different based upon the manner of thinking, of putting that thing together. Yes, ma'am.
My daughter had a question.
That's a question.
So this question doesn't relate to this, but before we are in our mom's womb, are we in heaven?
No, ma'am. Okay. No, ma'am. You're not there yet. Thank you for asking that question, though. I think it's a really, really good question. That's a really, really good question. That, matter of fact, that's kind of deep, young lady. But no, we're not. We're not. Our existence began at our conception. Now, God knows that we're going to come into existence, but we do not exist yet until we're conceived. Thank you for that. Very good question. Okay, anyone else? She has another one. One more.
Our question is, do dogs go to heaven?
The answer to that is no. As much as we would like them to, because we love them so much, we have no biblical evidence that dogs have a soul. Okay? Humans have been given a soul, but our pets don't have that. So thank you all for asking those questions. I really appreciate that. I do.